Yeah, I was going to, Kevin, you'll be proud of this one. It's about state. So I remember you do the live streams on Instagram. I've been watching them, and you had one with.
On me.
Oh.
Hold on, 1 sec. I can hear you. I can't see you. 1 second. Keep going. I can hear you.
Okay. And I think it was with Farrah Williams, and you were talking about how you perform best in those high pressured games. And I feel like a lot of footballers kind of fall at that barrier when you're in the high pressured games, and that's what makes you stand out as an individual. So how did you get into that mindset of being like, oh, it's a FA Cup final? Like, I know in myself, if I was playing at Wembley, I'd be like, oh my God. Like, how do you get into that mindset of like, I've got to perform today? Because a lot of players do struggle with that.
Yeah. I think, you know, for me, again, it just felt natural. Like, it literally just felt like a natural thing. So when I try to teach people and say to them, it's hard for me to articulate it, because when I just always felt like I was born to be there. So whenever I played at Wembley in front of like 65,000 people, don't get me wrong, you get a bit nervous. You know, if you don't get nervous, it shows you that you care a little bit, right? Yeah. But mine was more excitement. So to try to teach you and tell you how I got into that mindset, I think a lot of it came from when I was younger. My mum and dad always instilled confidence in me and said, be whoever you want to be. And anything you can do, you can put your mind to, you can do. And I think it was just coming from growing up in a family like that, to be honest, because, you know, I've never had any confrontations with my mum and dad, never had any issues, because the way they raised me is exactly how I am now. Does that make sense? So like the confidence, being able to put anything you put your mind to. If I said to them, you know, I'm going to be a singer, they'd support it. They'd probably tell me not to, because I'm an awful singer. But if I said I'm going to be a singer, they'd say, we'll support you. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But then they'd be realistic. And if there was a time where I just wasn't good enough, then they would tell me, like, if I want to keep playing, don't know where I'm going to play yet. But if there was a time, I would know myself when I need to retire. But I know my mum and dad would say to me, do you know what, Lianne, maybe it's a time. And I wouldn't be an insult. So I think that mindset just comes from within, and it's something that I've had since a really young age. So that doesn't seem abnormal to me. Does that make sense? Like, it just seems natural. Everything in my career that I've done felt like I visualized it, my subconscious mind, like, as much as we're getting deep, those kind of things I believe in, and get it on your subconscious mind, and I visualized,